Your people. So, got a pretty big one. Probably doesn't get any bigger than this. As these celebrity actors go. um, before I did it, was trying to find as much evidence as I could, because it's such an out there one, particularly for being British. Like I could deal with the John Candy Trump one a lot easier than I could deal with this one, because this one's obviously closer to home. But let's just get into it. I believe that Boris Johnson, the character, is being played by Matt Lucas, the British comedian. And there's Matt there, doing his little Illuminati hand signal there. Yeah, so yeah, as you can see, for those of you who don't know, Matt's bald, no hair. I think he got cancer when he was a kid or something. For those of you who don't know, Matt was made famous, for me certainly anyway, and I think for most people, when he was this drumming baby, the scoremaster, excuse me, in a program called, in the 90s, a comedy show called Shooting Stars. And me personally, I loved this show. I thought it was brilliant. Loved Reeves and Mortimer, and this was just a hilarious show. And George Jaws, who he played, the character, was just hilarious in it. It was so abstract and surreal. It was just comedy gold. And obviously for that reason, for me personally, I was like, when I first came across this on a John Cheetham South Africa YouTube video, shout out for him to putting me onto this, I literally was like, no way. And then I looked at some other stuff that he'd put on the video, and I was like, yes way. But still, it's a hard thing to comprehend that this could even happen. But once we look at the evidence, you can see it's quite strong. Now, just bear in mind, Matt's obviously bald, so a wig's easy for him. But bear in mind that they do latex, and they have like these masks and latex masks. So we're dealing with Hollywood here. It's easy for them to do this, to change the look of a character. And obviously the main thing that's different is Boris's eyelids are slightly droopy, and that really does take you away from seeing Matt Lucas as the character. But check this photo out. This is a young Boris Johnson on the right here. Obviously David, another character played by Matt Lucas in Little Britain. Little Britain as well. He was in the comedy programme. Very apt. But look at Boris there. He's looking a lot more like Matt Lucas in that one than the Boris that we see now. So let's look into some facts. Now, it says here, and obviously, like I always say, take these to a certain degree of truth, but not fully. Boris is 5'9". Now, me personally, I don't believe that Boris is 5'9", and I'll show you why. Now, this is a picture of him with Andy Murray. Now, as you can see, Boris is a lot smaller than Andy Murray, and Andy Murray is said to be 6'3". So it makes more sense that Boris is like 5'6", 5'7" there. So let's look at Matt Lucas. So it says here that he's 5'6.5", so that makes sense. So Boris was born in 64 and Matt Lucas in 74. So obviously the ages aren't the same, but that's not a problem if you've got a mask on and they're acting. But look at this. Interesting. Matt Lucas is Jewish. And of course, Boris has Jewish ancestry. So let's look at the noses. Matt Lucas here, and if you notice, Matt Lucas has a little bump on the top of his nose. And then Boris here, similar nose, little bump on his nose. Now check this article that I found out. Now I think it's some kind of satirical thing. I can't quite work out what it is, but it's almost like they've put it out there to hide the truth in plain sight. Look at the quote here. All I had to do is put pop on a silly blonde wig and talk bollocks with a posh accent. Then look at some of the things he says here. Comedian Matt Lucas has announced that he will be retiring his popular Boris Johnson character after 2 decades of hilarity. Mad Boris was Lucas' breakout character in the 90s, but he decided to retire the comic creation after admitting his faux political run has gone too far. Now, this was from 2016. Look at this bit here. Then everything started to become strange. The Tories embraced the character that was mocking them, and soon I became an MP. I thought there was no harm in that, really. Then I became Mayor of London. Again, another meaningless job. But now it looks like Boris is going to end up as Prime Minister. And as bizarrely beautiful as that may be, enough is enough. Like I said, I think this is supposed to be some satirical thing. But, you know, they hide the truth in plain sight. They put it out there. So then just look at this. This is a young Boris looking very much like Matt Lucas, to the point that people have spotted it. As this guy says here, this is 2019. Is this Boris Johnson or Matt Lucas? If it's Matt Lucas, please, the joke's gone on long enough to just tell everyone that Brexit was a big joke and it's not really happening. So, you know, people are seeing it. People are seeing it. This is 2019. Someone else that sees it there as well. Now, Boris has always been a joke character. This is him here, making his entrance as Boris becoming mayor, and I think it was like 2012 or whatever. But look, I mean, it was just a big joke. This was supposed to be a politician, and you know, it was blatantly a humorous character from the off. A buffoon, a joke character, you know. And then, of course, during the pandemic, Matt Lucas did his spoof of playing Boris Johnson, hidden in plain sight. And here's Boris Johnson in a wheelchair. I mean, have you ever seen any other MPs sitting in a wheelchair? Have you ever seen this? Reminds me a little bit like of Matt Lucas in the comedy show Little Britain. Yeah, I know. This is Boris as a child here, supposedly. And Matt Lucas as a child. Could easily be the same character with a wig. Now, this is interesting. Matt Lucas says he doesn't believe in God. And not only that, he doesn't look down on people who do believe. I mean, you know, there's a serious arrogance there. That's from 2017. Bearing in mind, he grew up Jewish. If you're Jewish and you don't believe in God, that makes you a Zionist. So he's perfect to be part of this system. A real Jew, a Zionist Jew. Now this is where it gets interesting, and this is where it got me when I wasn't sure at first, and I saw this. This is Matt Lucas's ex-boyfriend, who supposedly killed himself. It does look like they're standing outside number 10 here, so I'm sure they were invited to a party back in the day. So this is them here. Kevin McGee, his name. Let's look at Boris Johnson's wife, Carrie. And there's Carrie there with Boris. Look how similar they look. Look how similar they look. As you can see, they're both the same, similar height. And it says here, Carrie, Boris's wife, is 5'7", so that makes sense. So that fits. Then Kevin McGee here. I couldn't find his height anywhere. But as you can see here, he died at 32 years of age, which is obviously his 33rd year. But, you know, kill him off and then prepare him for the role as Carrie Simmons when she comes in as Boris's affair and soon-to-be new wife. But as you can see, similar height. I think she may be wearing heels there, but they're definitely similar heights. Similar heights. Matt and Kevin were similar heights. And Boris and Carrie are similar heights. As you can see there, she's got heels on, but they're similar heights. And then just look at the faces here. Look at the cheekbones and the nose. Same cheekbones, same nose. Same cheekbones, same smile, same nose, same eyes. There you can go. And if you notice, Carrie's got a little mole by her left eye, and Kevin always had his hair swept over by his left eye. The teeth are definitely different, but they can easily cap the teeth. This is Hollywood, they can do anything like that. The teeth are different, but the cheekbones are the same, the smile is the same, the eyes are the same, and the nose is the same. Of course, if you look into the way that Carrie was brought onto the scene, Boris's beach blonde, and quickly these photos came out of her starring in a play when she was a student, which was a satanic sex cult based on Aleister Crowley. So they're telling you stuff there. This is a picture of her apparently from that play. So they're telling you they're Satanists, and then there's another photo from the play. Look at the occult symbolism based on Aleister Crowley, the known Satanist. So yeah, a lot of similarities here. Same look, same nose, same body shape, same height, same similar looking ex-spouse, both Jewish. You know, Matt played Boris in a show. You know, people are spotting this. A lot of strong evidence for this one, as bizarre as it may be. But you know, everybody knows Boris is a joke. Whether you like Boris or not, Boris is a joke. Boris is a comedian. Boris is a buffoon. You know, for me, it's there. He's just a comedy character. We've always felt that. His hair, just the way he is, it's just a big joke, a big comedy show. It's all just a stage, and these are just celebrity actors playing roles to deceive us. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Boris is a comedian. Peace!